Figuring out your sexuality can be a long, ongoing, confusing process. So I wanted to chat a little bit today about that process of figuring out your sexual and romantic orientation. We grow up in a society that models straight relationships. If you were born a woman, pushes you towards, oh, you should one day settle down, get married to a man. If you're a man, pushes you to settle down, one day get married with a woman. And that's kind of the future that is pushed at us in terms of romance and love and happy ending, whatever, etc., is usually a straight relationship. And so sometimes people can be in straight relationships, thinking that they are straight when really it's just because they're really trying to fulfill what they think they should want rather than what they actually want. And this isn't to discredit straight people or bi people. Straight people and bi people definitely exist. I'm bi, I exist, but straight people exist too, and I realize that. But it's just the idea that, and I think this is something that I've seen a lot of LGBTQ plus people experience, especially when they're younger, is getting into straight relationships because they don't know another way. Like, they grew up with that expectation of that's what life should be and who they should be. I think it's just something, once again, to be aware of. And kind of the key distinction here with compulsory heterosexuality, or one of the key distinctions, is like, do you actually like them as more than a friend? Do you actually crave and desire that sex and romance with them? Are you actually attracted to their qualities? Is it the person themselves that you like, or the idea of having these things that you've been told you should have? Is it just something that's happening, like, oh, I'm attracted to this person? Are you having to make a mental decision, oh, I should like that person, so therefore I'm going to like them? And by like, I mean in like a more than a friend way, like in like an attractive, like I'm attracted to them, have a crush on them, desire a relationship with them, whatever makes sense for where you're at. This is on like a larger scale in terms of like a pattern, because of course also, like, if you're, let's say, a straight woman, you're not going to be attracted to every man on the planet. You're not going to romantically or sexually click with everyone. This is just if it's like a pattern, or you're noticing that in general you're not necessarily attracted to the gender that you think you're supposed to be, but you're like, oh, I should be, so therefore I'm going to, like, it's following what you think you should be doing rather than your actual feelings and desires. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. There are some people where their romantic orientation is different from their sexual orientation. So they might be romantically attracted to just one or multiple genders, but sexually attracted to different genders or just one gender. For example, someone could be a heteromantic bisexual, meaning they are romantically attracted to the opposite gender, but sexually attracted to multiple genders. And there are many different iterations of this. I'll give a little chart example if you want to pause and take a look. So I think it really comes down to just being aware of these different types of attraction and how they manifest in you. What genders are you sexually attracted to? What genders do you desire romantic connections with? Or maybe you don't desire romance or sex. Maybe you experience strong platonic attractions to people, or other types of attractions like intellectual attraction, platonic attraction, aesthetic attraction, and sometimes we might confuse that for sexual or romantic attraction. But when you think about actually having sex with someone or being in a relationship with that person, you're like, never mind, I'm attracted to them, but I don't desire this type of connection with them. Awareness of the different types of attraction and introspection on that, on what that means for you, goes a long way. I think that journaling is a great tool for introspection, so yay journaling. I will try to think of some prompts and put them on the screen for you to think of and use. So yeah, those are just some ideas and concepts to think about and work through. Maybe you've already heard of them, but you just needed a reminder. Also, another reminder and something to keep in mind is that sexuality, sexual orientation, romantic orientation, all those things can be fluid. Like, you don't have to just be like, okay, this is what I am, that's that, end of story. Like, it definitely can be that, but it doesn't have to be. You can learn more as you grow as a person and discover more about yourself. Maybe you end up meeting someone that changes your idea of what you thought you were. Being open with it and leading with curiosity, I feel like, is always a good route and approach to go. But yeah, it's okay to think that you're one way and then realize that maybe your sexual romantic orientation is more expansive than you originally thought. You're not like locked in for life once you make a decision. You can always just take your time too. There's no rush to coming to a decision or a conclusion. Like, there's no deadline. Yeah, you can just take your time and figure things out. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully some of this was helpful. If you have anything that's helped you, would love to hear it in the comments. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.